is my email address. This week's question comes from my own son Lawrence, who, as he's approaching 7, so he's probably lost let's say 3 or 4 teeth already. That's the tooth fairy, about £4 down over the past 18 months or so. And he did ask me at the latest loss, why is it that children lose their baby teeth and then they get adult teeth? Basically, why don't we stick with the same set? And I don't really know the answer. So I've invited in Chris Branfield, dentist at Castle Park Dental Care in Cottingham, and who can answer that question. We can talk about loads of other stuff as well, Chris, because there's plenty to talk about. You have certainly been a regular visitor to Radio Humberside with various projects that you've had going on over the past few years. But let's start with the definitive answer to why babies start with milk teeth that they then lose around about 6 or 7.
I'll do my best. I don't know about definitive.
Okay. Well, your answer then.
And when you said difficult questions, I think it's a humdinger. That's a question and a half, is that one? I think really it's going back to evolution. And what is evolution? It's things that change, and why did single cells become jellyfish, and then why did we develop into, creatures with backbones and what have you? And it's all about environmental factors and survival of the fittest. What changes that help the species survive, and what features don't, and they die off. But certainly having the little teeth for kiddies, because adult teeth just won't fit. The jawbone isn't developed to have adult teeth, and it did tickle me on the way in. One of your callers said they just look really funny. Yeah,
massive teeth.
Massive big teeth, and sometimes when you see the things on the internet where you see dogs with a set of teeth laughing, that came to mind. So the kiddie's teeth, but as you get older and you grow, and your jawbone grows, and they're not really fit for function. So you start to get your kiddie's teeth at the front with the incisors about 6 months, and they get a full set of 20 teeth by about 2.5, 3 years old. But as they start to grow and the jaw grows in width, then they start to fall out, and they're called milk teeth because the babies are still on the milk while they're getting those teeth, or they can be called primary teeth, or I like deciduous teeth, like deciduous trees.
Deciduous, that's nice.
Like you've got deciduous trees when the leaves drop off rather than the evergreens, or they're just called baby teeth. Some part of the world they're called fall teeth because they fall out.
Okay, yeah.
So as you get older, you need extra teeth because the teeth are too small. When you think the jawbones get bigger, the muscles get bigger.
You eat different stuff as well.
And as you're an adult, you need more nutrition. So you need that functionality of the bigger teeth. And if you kept some small teeth and some big teeth, they wouldn't match up.
No.
So you need a whole set that fit together. So at the age of 6, you actually get your first permanent molars, but they're the ones that grow in they sneak in at the back. So no teeth falls out, but you get your first permanent. So
it's all
molar.
going on in my 6-year-old's mouth. We don't necessarily know.
In fact, your first permanent molars actually start to form about the time of birth.
Right, okay.
So you can tell chronologically if there was a difficult birth, or your mum was ill, or the baby was ill, early doors around that time, then that can actually affect the adult molars that come through a bit dodgy.
Here's the thing I'm going to hit you with.
Right,
when I was pregnant with Lawrence, which is about 7 or 8 years ago, I got a growth spurt in my wisdom teeth, and the same thing happened to my mum when she was pregnant with one of us. Is that something to do with the hormonal change when you're pregnant?
I haven't got a clue.
Okay.
Wisdom teeth are predictably unpredictable.
Okay.
They say they're supposed to come through sort of 17 to 21, but my mother started coming through, I think,
Do we know why we get
30.
them?
Yeah, well, it's just a set of teeth. I mean, years and years ago, the thing is with evolution, it's all to do with environmental changes that dictate to us what physicality we've got that increase our chance of survival. But as the humans have got to the top of the food chain, and got the intellectual skills, the engineering skills, the dexterity skills, we start to change our environment. So not much has changed. However, it's shown that our jawbones are getting a bit smaller.
Okay.
So when you look at Neanderthal man, the jawbone was actually longer, so you could fit your wisdom teeth in.
Right, okay.
So you had 3 lots of molars. I've had my wisdom teeth out because my lower jaw couldn't fit them in. Yeah. So there is that change in recent years, but the reason why you get them is because you had better functionality of eating. And obviously, nature, evolution dictated that was the that was the best way of going.
And as we were saying before we came on air, wouldn't it be nice if actually your teeth kept falling out and then you got new ones? Wouldn't that be handy? Because that's happening more and more, and that's all part of your job and other dentists' job is to get people to look after your teeth, and it's proving a difficult task, isn't it? I think.
Well, it'd be good if you were like sharks. And the things with sharks, they've got sort of like real sharp, raspy teeth, and they're blunting off real quick, so they drop out, and it's almost like a roller. They just keep getting new teeth. But again, when you look back to primitive man, we weren't supposed to last much past sort of 25, 30 years old. So when you think about it, you get your new adult teeth start coming through sort of 6, but your molars only finish coming through sort of 13 to 17. Then you're going to get a good sort of 10, 15 years out of them. That should be enough.
And then that's your lot. It's good night Vienna then, anyway.
But now your teeth are having to last you sort of 70, 80, 90, 100 years.
Yeah.
And but the environmental factors mean if you've got no teeth, you know, we can cook stuff up, we can mash stuff up, we get the nutritional stuff. It's not a survival thing anymore.
Yeah.
So we do survive, but the nearest thing we've got at the moment for replacement teeth, that's something that looks, feels, and functions like a tooth, a dental implant. So that's where the dental profession comes in. But also the thing is, we're very keen to try and keep teeth for life and get the message out, and it's about maintenance.
Yeah, and is that proving a hard job? Because we're given to believe at the moment that there is a crisis in terms of kids eating sugar, and it's more to do with that, isn't it? I mean, you can get kids to clean their teeth, but if they're eating too much sugar in the first place, then you're fighting a losing battle.
Well, it's all chemistry. In your mouth, there's chemistry going on all the time, and it's like a seesaw or a tug of war. And there's things that help prevent decay. So you've got your fluoride, you're cleaning your teeth, and then one of the biggest thing about the toothpaste is just the fluoride content in it. It's been shown to help prevent tooth decay. Then you've got the things that cause decay. So obviously it's your sugar, and it's not so much how much sugar you have, but how often. Of the other thing that helps prevent decay is your saliva. That's what it's there for. It's got calcium and phosphate in it, and it's got buffers in it that help reduce the acid, because the acid increases the decay. So because the bacteria in your mouth gets sugar, that creates the acid, that sucks the calcium out, and that starts the decay process. So if you've actually got an environment in your mouth that's acid, so even that could be acid reflux, that's promoting the bacteria that causes acid. So it's a real complicated thing, but you're exactly right. If you've got a diet that your teeth can basically take 3 meals and 2 snacks, but if I say, for example, you have a packet of Polos, right, and you have 10 packets of Polos in 10 minutes, for your teeth, that's better than 1 packet where you just chuck one in every half an hour, every hour.
Because it's a constant.
Because your saliva is there to buffer the acid and help remineralise your teeth once you've had the calcium taken out.
So what would you say then to parents then? Because the ideal situation is that kids don't eat sugar, but that ain't going to happen, because there's hidden sugars all over the place as well.
The sugars and everything. Well, the thing is with sugars is the fast food thing. Ready meals, it's all this glucose, fructose, corn syrup, and
sauces,
nonsense. But in health, that's been shown. No, it's not fat that causes problems. It's the sugar that causes the inflammation, which causes the heart disease. It does your pancreas. So that's again your diabetes. So really, you want to eat healthy stuff, fresh stuff as much as you can, but if your kids won't have sugar, the funniest kids' parties we've ever had are when dentist kids come, because they come and absolutely just gorge because they don't get sugar at home.
Things,
my kids never had that. They've always been kids, and they don't. But the thing is one thing you can have is if you have a meal and then you have some sugar for your teeth, that counts as 1 dose.
Okay.
Whereas if you have your meal, there will be sugars in it, and that's affecting your teeth. But if you have a little snack, then that's going to cause if you have another little snack, and particularly, so what happens is every time you have a snack, there's some sugars or hidden sugars. You've got baked beans, you've got loads of sugar, even ketchup. There's sugars in everything. That will cause an acid rise. Within a couple of hours, your saliva will neutralise that acid, and you come to a safe pH level. But if you have a little top up, you're at the wrong side, at the wrong end of that seesaw.
In between sugary snacks that are the problem.
It's form and frequency. Frequency is a big problem, topping up, but also form. If you have things that get stuck in your teeth, now what is a bad thing is things like raisins, which is concentrated natural sugars that get stuck. And if you don't shift them by brushing, that's just constant release of sugar. So it's the frequency and the form, because if you've got a form of sugar that sticks in your teeth, it's effectively really increasing the frequency of the intake, because you can't get rid of it.
Yeah, Chris, it's fascinating to speak to you, and I mean, because I have this problem, and I do try to, obviously, like any parent does, hopefully any parent does, to limit what my kids get in terms of sugar. So, but never a tea time goes by before they've just, finished what they've decided is their last forkful, and then they ask what's for pudding.
Well, if you're going to have a pudding, have it with. If you're going to have sugar stuff, have it with your meal.
Yeah.
Or you can have a sit down on Saturday morning after your breakfast.
Whoa, no, don't start saying that. We're not having chocolate every Saturday morning.
Yeah, but if you're going to do it, have a set time. It's one time, and that can be a treat thing that they get it. And for the teeth, that's okay. But I mean, I'm getting more and more I'm getting more and more anti-sugar for health reasons. I'm not a big carbohydrate fan at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, as a dentist, are you seeing as well more and more children coming to you with rotten teeth than you were when you first started in the profession?
I'm sort of lucky that where I am in Cottingham, the people that I see and the families that we see, they're really switched on.
Yeah,
because they're taking on board the message that we're giving. The first job I ever did was on Hessel Road in Hull.
Yeah, and
I've given this story before where we had a nurse who was actually my wife before she was my wife, and we went out, believe it or not. Proper cliche. And it
happens all the way in BBC. There's loads of people go out with each other.
And she was giving oral hygiene advice and about diet advice. And then the next time you saw the family, they came in with a bottle of Coke as a pacifier.
Yeah.
Well, you just sort of smack your head against the brick wall. So we are trying our best to give the message and educate, and it's all education. When we go to Morocco, with the kids up in the mountains, we've actually now got we have people that give fluoride quarterly, and also give diet and oral hygiene advice, and we now provide toothpaste and toothbrushes, because it's all about the message and the education. It's just people actually accepting that and implementing it.
Yeah.
He's actually doing it.
Let me stop you there then, Chris, because you just touched on something that I want to talk to you about in detail, and that is your Dental Maverick scheme, which is, you talked about that before on BBC Radio Humberside, but I know that that's expanding and you're doing ever such a lot and going to different places as well. So we'll talk about, if you can stick around a little bit till after the midday news, and then we can chat about that. Now, I'm joined at the moment by Chris Branfield. We've been speaking to Chris, who's a dentist in Cottingham, about our kids' question this week. He's answered that for us about why children get baby teeth that then fall out. But it's a good opportunity, of course, to talk to Chris about other things that are going on. And the first time I met you, Chris, was because you were telling us on Radio Humberside about your Dental Mavericks scheme. Just explain to people who've never heard of it what that's all about.
Yeah, Dental Mavericks, I got involved in it in 2010 as a founder member, and then became a trustee when we were going out to Morocco, up into the mountains where the kids have got nothing. The first time we went, we found out there were 50,000 people for one doctor, but no dental health provision whatsoever, and the teeth are in a right state. So they're just living in constant daily pain. They've got abscesses and all sorts. So we've been going out there and basically we're triaging it, and emergency dentistry, just getting kids out of pain, and we've seen thousands of kids, and it's grown from that. So we first started going up into the Rift Mountains, which is the northeast of the country. After that, we teamed up with Eve Branson Foundation, which is Richard Branson's mum. Okay. Up in the Atlas Mountains, just sort of an hour or two outside of Marrakesh. So I've been going twice a year the last few years, and then last year we teamed up on the back of the King's Advisor in Ezweira on the coast, and that was the first year. And that was just 2 days of hard graft, 7 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night.
A lot of people to deal with.
Yeah, it's just kids turning up, and then the word got out. So we're going there for a week in Ezweira, because we're going to be working in the city, but also going out up into the rural areas, because they've really bought in to what we're about. And what was fantastic, particularly when you see what's going on in the world, and we had a meal with the director of the school and the people that were running it, and so they were all talking Arabic, right? And some people, and we had the traditional Moroccan musician and clapping, and just real. And we're looking around the table, and the director of the school said, because this was the day after, and he said he looked around the classroom today, and the children's faces had changed because they weren't in pain anymore, and they could concentrate. So you get that, and you think, we're doing this. Why can't other people doing it? So we are growing, and before Christmas, the beginning of December, the trustees, 5 of us, and and a sixth person, which was actually the daughter of one of the trustees, a good friend of mine, Jazz Sandu. We went out to I can't say the Thessaloniki.
You've done it.
It's the second largest city in Greece, and they've got a big refugee thing.
Of course, yeah.
And there were 15 camps. And it increased from 13 to 15 just from 2 weeks prior to us going, and 20,000 people. It was 2 degrees and in -3 in the night, and they were walking around in flip-flops. They didn't possess a pair of socks. They were nithered, as a saying I found out when I came over to East Yorkshire. But ever so grateful. But so again, we teamed up with a charity called Health Point Foundation, who are a medical team, but they found that the greatest need they have over there is actually dental.
Right, okay.
So we went to forge relationships and build bridges and put a process in place, and on the back of that the next Dental Maverick, they're out there at the moment, and we've got teams going out every month now, and we're booked up until August.
Fantastic.
And they're absolutely chuffed to bits, because when we go out in Dental Mavericks, we just want to be human beings, so we put music on and we dance and we sing and we build relationships with people, because the whole ethos is, and that's my practice as well, is we don't do teeth, we do people.
Yeah, and presumably you're giving your time for free, but it costs to get over there, doesn't it?
Well, it's worth it. The thing is about Dental Mavericks, everything we raise, we had a disco night, my practice run a 70s disco at Armstrong in Beverley on Friday night, and we raised 800 odd quid. I've climbed a mountain, I've cycled across, but everything, I pay 100% my way. My son's been 3 times. He's now in dental hygiene therapy because he got the bug from coming with us. My practice manager's been out 3-4 times. I pay for that, because everything we raise is 100% goes to charity, and that's why I love it, because no one's taking a bit. We don't have directors driving fancy cars or anything like that. It's 100% goes to what's needed to be done, and that's why I love it with the dentists and the team and the people that come and help. And we've got the team's growing. They give 100% of their time and they pay their way to get there, and that's why I love it, because no one's ripping anybody off. It goes 100% to what needs to be done.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing that you're doing, Chris. If anybody's listening to this and thinks that they'd like to help, is there any way that people can help?
Yeah, of course they can. Go look on the website, look at Castle Park dental.co.uk, or look at Dental Maverick, dentalmavericks.org, and just get involved, see what you can donate. If there's anything at the moment now, what they need in Thessaloniki and even in Morocco, which it does snow up in the mountains, are clothes particularly for the kids, because colleagues of mine have been out into Morocco, and we see the kids in flip-flops and the t-shirts and the shorts in the warmer months, but they're wearing exactly the same things in the winter. So there's all those things. Or if they want to get in touch with my practice, if they want to bring clothes in, we've got some lovely patients that actually knit things for the kiddies, and we send those over, and they go over to the women's groups, because they get distributed properly from the women's groups now. But we've even got things where we've got involved with other charities, where the women's group now, they've been shown how to make bags, so they're actually selling the bags and making their own way in life, instead of just hoping they can get married and have a goat sort of thing. So they're looking how to look after themselves. There's a lot more to the charity than just teeth.
Well, Chris, it sounds fantastic. Thank you very much for coming in and for telling us more about that, and initially, of course, for answering our KISS question this morning, which was the why I got you in, but I knew that we'd have more to talk about as well. Chris Branfield, who is a dentist in Cottingham, and if you would like to hear more about that and you'd like to help, then as he says, you can get in touch with his practice, which is the Castle Park Dental Care in Cottingham, or you can look at dentalmavericks.org.